Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Joe, and this is Lisa Schermerhorn, and we're doing a show together that'll be on both of our channels. We had an amazing journey in what was it? October, really, right? The end of September, start of October in Spain. And we ended up going out to dinner with David Mahoney and in the group of us, which includes Carol, Michelle, Scott. There might be people I'm missing off the top of my head, Lisa, of course. And it was just amazing because he felt such a connection with us that he decided then and there to reach out to his videographer, and we ended up touring Spain for the next few days, and it was amazing. Anything you want to say, Lisa, before we actually share episode 1 of 3 of Decoding Andalusia?
Well, the funniest part was how my life has been manifesting thing after thing after thing. So I've just kind of surrendered this past year anyway. And I was actually in Europe because I was supposed to just go to a red carpet premiere in Prague, right? And I was just going to be there for a week. And it was for a movie that I'm in, Zero Limits. With Dr. Joe Vitale. And then I heard that you and Joe were going to Ireland. And I'm sorry, you and Scott. There I go. I haven't had anything to drink yet this morning. So water. But yeah, it was the craziest thing because my event in Prague was scheduled for the 20th and the event in Ireland was scheduled for the 20th.
Right.
And then all of the sudden the date changed to the 18th so I could join you guys. And when I said there was a film festival in Marbella, everyone was like, let's go. And then we get to Marbella, which was so much fun. You're like, yeah, let's call Dave Mahoney. I'm like, I haven't met him yet. I used to follow him all the time. I thought he was really cool. He ended up joining us, and he's really interesting because he's kind of like a international spy filmmaker, like a little bit of everything. I never know what to make of him. Right. And very spiritually based, and just like
international man of mystery almost.
Yes, that's the perfect word for it. So I just found him fascinating. And you never know if he's speaking the truth or not. Like, does he really mean this? Like, we're sitting here, it's like, I've always wanted to make a movie about the spirituality and all of these sacred places in Andalusia, which is southern Spain. And I've got all these empaths and psychic people here. I'd love your impressions. Let's see. And then all of a sudden he's like, let me call my videographer. And he happened to be available. And off we go. It was crazy because we had rented that Airbnb for the time. And suddenly we were in Sevilla, Spain, and going on all these adventures with him. And I have to say, the way everything came together was remarkable. And then, the road that we started to go on from where we were in Marbella to Ronda, because that's one of the places that's featured in this, was one of the most beautiful roads. I can't remember. He said it was one of the top. I know it was under 10 roads, 8 or 10 driving roads in the world, and one of the top motorcycle riding roads, just for scenery and twisting turns. And my ex-husband was a motorcycle racer, and I've been on the back of some pretty incredible rides. And that place would definitely be a place where he'd want to go very fast around those corners. Yeah.
So. Yeah, it was amazing. It was really amazing. Well, I think what we'll do is we'll play this 20-some minutes, and then I haven't seen it in its entirety in its final edit, and then we'll converse about it afterwards. How does that sound?
Sounds awesome, because it's great to watch it again because it brings all the memories back and a lot of laughs. So yeah, I'm excited.
All right, folks. Well, I'm going to pick the right button here, and we're going to showcase part 1 of Decoding Andalusia. So here we go. I'm going to put us here and play.
Welcome to Andalusia, Spain's southernmost region, famous for Moorish architecture, historic cities, and dramatic landscapes.
Welcome to a very special episode of Mahoney Live. I live in southern Spain. I've been here for 30 years in the heart of Andalusia, and I've been lucky enough to experience the most amazing places, and the energy and spiritual influence has been a huge part of my life. This week I've got very special American friends of mine who just dropped in out of the blue, and what I'm doing is I'm taking them around Andalusia and I'm showing them some of my favorite places. So join us as we walk and talk and share the legends and mysteries of southern Andalusia. We're in Ronda, and this is one of Spain's hottest tourist spots. So you get Chinese and Japanese, you'll see people from all over the world coming here. It's about an hour from the coast, but this was one of the main routes that they used to go from the coast to Seville. Ronda itself, again, the Catholic influence in this part of Spain, because what they did was they tried to get rid of all of the Moors, all of the Arabic, all of the Islam. So what they did was they started building a lot of imposing religious buildings, and Ronda has a lot of small little churches. Now, what's interesting about this is what the Catholic Church puts on the front of these. So if you look at the facade here, yeah, you can see on the door straight away, why would they put these carvings of terrifying demonic images and something that's supposed to be of God? Look at the door, look at the brass door plates on there. It looks like the face of a demon. The gargoyles, if you have another word for it, free to use it. And the whole energy is just, you imagine being of a very poor background, scratching a living, goat farming, olive farming, which is really all they do here. The soil isn't super fertile here for fruits and vegetables. It's basically olives. So they build these imposing buildings to terrify the people. If you don't do what we say you're going to do, you're going to go to hell and boil forever in a terrible, horrible experience. These here, to me, look like the bowls of holy water you put your hand in to do the blessing. But it's not built on love. It's built on intimidation, and it's built on fear, as you can see. Because a lot of the churches in the States are new. They're about 100, 200 years old. It's a new country. But going back to ancient artifacts and architecture here, why would they decide, okay, here's the plan, this is what we're going to do. Now, on the front, I need gargoyles and terrifying things to really make people terrified of the church. You know, if you're trying to attract people, you would put nice things in, wouldn't you? But then we get into all of that, what churches really were. Were they ancient healing places where they used the frequencies? I mean, if you go to the St. Clair Church in Scotland, where you can decode all of it, because a lot of these, not so much in here, but a lot of churches have these symbols and shapes which have all been now proved to be coming from frequency, musical notes. So,
Bells.
Yeah, they took all the bells away in just that before World War I, because the bells and the harmonics and the frequency, we all know, helps with healing. This small little tower, it's strange, it looks like a church tower, but these are watchtowers. You can see the small windows there, they were for archers. This goes back to a Moorish tower. We're going to see more of this today as we move around this part of Spain. And you can see it's a watchtower, so they had an alarm at the top, which would have been a bell or a fire. Usually they used to use fire to alarm people. And it's a singular building. It's just enough for maybe 1 or 2 men, just on the outskirts of the town. And you can see at the bottom, the original stonework is there. It's been added onto. This particular brickwork is Christian, but the bottom of it is Moorish. So it would originally been destroyed by the Catholics to take down the Moorish influence. But the base of it here, with a typical archway going over there, is very Moorish. So that's probably 1,000 years old, roughly, with an add-on, because you can see the difference in the bricks. So after it was destroyed by fire and they took it down, rebuilt and repurposed as a continuing watchtower. As we move around here, you'll see a lot of houses have something above the doorway, like a crest. There's a lot of family crests. And basically, there was a lot of families here that were influential in the olive oil trade, which is essential to ancient Rome and Greece. They used to use it for food as well as lamps. So this one has a cross on it, so this signifies that this was some sort of Catholic-based foundational home. But as we move around, you'll see several which are family crests and coats of arms, which signified exactly who the family was and what they were doing. There's 3 different crests above this one. I don't know who they're significant are, but it does tell us that this was a prominent family that held this building. And then straight across the street, there's another one. Old family money, this is mine, you stay away, I'm nobility and you're a peasant. This is the money shot, as they say in Ronda. We've got this ancient Roman, Phoenician, it's probably around 2,500 years old, this bridge. It's been rebuilt several times. There's spectacular views either side, but it's going to give you vertigo. There's usually a spot there that can lean you right over, but they're doing construction on it. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a little walk, see where those people are standing, have a little walk, and then this side we got really amazing views, but this is why people come here. You'll feel this pulsing up as we go over this bridge now. So just take some time, get into your little Zen mode and just see what you get, yeah? You just take a little look here. You'll get vertigo, so be careful. How are you feeling about everything we've been looking at so far?
Incredible.
Well, overwhelmed, and I was actually feeling, I couldn't tell if it was grief or like it was so beautiful that I wanted to cry, but I felt a sense of grief over there.
That's really interesting, actually, because a lot of the times when you become overpowered with such beautiful and natural things, I get that as well.
Yeah.
So it's a very special place, Ronda, but there's a lot of mixed energies because you've got 6-7 cultural differences coming in from 2,000-3,000 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting what you're tuning into.
I really feel the layers.
Yeah.
The layers.
Yeah.
I wonder how many people died building this.
Oh, I'm sure hundreds.
Yeah, and especially on the other side, I could feel the density and the in between the first layer and the second layer.
Yeah.
It felt really dark.
All right.
But on top and from the aqueductos up, it felt light.
Yeah, it is a strange one because you get different waves coming over you of energies and especially emotions. I get a lot of emotions: sadness, grief, happiness. It is a strange mixture. It's all coming at you like a baseball. The next little area, it's the oldest bull ring in Spain. Now a museum, it's the oldest bull ring in Spain. And when you actually go and see the old bullfighters' outfits, they were tiny little men. You know, they're always this flamboyant, macho, but the uniforms, you wouldn't get a 9-year-old kid in it. Very, very small. They do in certain areas. Some parts of Spain, the bullfighting's been banned.
Yeah.
I went once. It's actually barbaric.
Yes,
I was horrified. Here are 2 statues and a plaque on the wall. Ernest Hemingway was a big fan of Ronda. And on the other side, Orson Welles, the famous film director. So one of the techniques I've picked up by spending time with spiritually enlightened people is what we call sweeping. So you'll often see me wandering around on a wide shot with my hands in this position. And what I tend to do is I tend to walk and sweep all of the negative, all of the repression, all of the depression, the sadness, and sweep it all in front of me, get it away, push it away. So in a lot of these areas that are ancient, when you travel around the world, you'll feel that energy. So try to find your own technique. Your sweeping method, or this sweeping method, works very well for me. Some people don't need it. They use the hands in front like this. Some people have different hand movements. But anybody that you see doing this sort of work will have a technique. And whatever technique works for you is the one that you should tune in and make it as strong as you possibly can. Let's go and have a chat with the guys and see how they're doing. See, I'm doing it now, pushing, 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 and see how everybody's feeling.
When you were talking earlier, I just everything felt so heavy that I wanted to curl up in a ball. And it's like this whole mix of like incredible beauty. But that feels, I don't know, do you feel like mud flood? Like that was
It feels like an entrance.
an entrance, like there was some more in there, like a whole society was covered up.
Yeah, that's what I
Well,
think out of it.
if you think about how a monk would live, he was often living in solitude. He was denied of every basic luxury. He'd be sleeping on a wooden bed with some form of straw or hay as a mattress. He had only the basic things to survive. They would eat basic food. They didn't have any entertainment apart from their religious readings, and they were left in solitude and silence most of the time so they could be at one with their God.
I feel that there's something even more ancient there
Yes,
though, than
I
before
feel that too.
Catholicism came. And I know the Moors were driven out like in 7-Eleven, but
Yeah.
there's something.
Yes, I feel the same.
And I can feel different layers. Like it's real heavy down there, but as we get up, and that road leading out,
Yeah.
it's like emancipation.
Yeah, and you're getting around the corner to freedom. So behind me, we have the oldest bull ring in Spain. It's now a museum, but they also use it for concerts here in Ronda. And the strange thing about bullfighting, I went once about 25 years ago, and it's horrendous what they do. They torture the animal, the crowd start applauding at the matador, the bullfighter's bravery, and they do terrible things like they cut the ears off the bull and throw it into the crowd. So most parts of Spain now, it's prohibited. There are certain towns and certain locations where they'll do it occasionally, but for the moment, it's pretty much banned and outlawed, which I think, as much as it's a tradition, it's not good to feed the crowd. It's a bit of a Roman circus, isn't it? The blood and the glory of the Colosseum was transferred into Spain with the bullfighting. And behind us now, they've utilized this beautiful ancient building into something positive where they do concerts and music, and a lot of the children will come here from the schools and they'll perform and show off what they've been learning. It's beautiful to watch. We've just seen a whole crowd of school children here that have been brought here to be taught about the heritage and history of where they live. And what makes me smile about this, I grew up in a terrible part of England, rough, but my former years I was in Ireland, it was beautiful. So people don't realize how blessed they are to be living in such a beautiful part of the world. And every day I give thanks to where I've been placed on my spiritual journey in such a beautiful, amazing part of Spain. So it's coffee time, and I think it's a great moment to pass the microphone around and for everybody to introduce themselves to the audience and share where you're from and what your name is, and I don't know, let's see how you feel. You can go first. This is Scott.
Yeah, Scott Stone of Truth Stream podcast. And what an amazing experience this is. I'm in love with Spain. And what better way to learn about Spain than with David? So thank you.
You're very welcome.
Yeah.
I get much more out of it than you do. You'd be surprised.
Really?
I'm Lisa Schermerhorn. I'm a hypnotherapist and a quantum healer, and I'm also in a movie called Zero Limits with Joe Vitale. So I was here in Marbella for the red carpet premiere, and doing some spiritual travel with my soul family, spiritual family, and very grateful to be here.
I'm Michelle Skjow from Colorado in the United States, and I'm traveling with my family, and the family is just getting bigger and bigger as we are traveling through the world. Here we are in Spain with a wonderful guide, David Mahoney, and I'm so honored to be here with him. And just experiencing all the architecture, the history, and just all of the frequencies amongst all these beautiful people. Thank you.
I'm Joe Rosati, also from Truth Stream with Scott, and we started our trip in Ireland, and now we're here in Spain, and it's been an amazing journey so far, and just honored to be here with the Soul Tribe. So there we go. Carol, to you.
Hola, I'm Carol Maureen Friesen, and I'm here from Costa Rica. I'm Canadian, but living in Costa Rica. I have a retreat center called Heaven and Earth Sanctuary, and I've been teaching psychosomatic therapy for the last 25 years and teaching all about body language, face reading, And yeah, it's just wonderful to be here in Spain and experience the country in a new way, especially with an amazing guide that can show us around. And of course, being with our soul family. And yeah, I have a podcast called The Great Alignment on Rumble, and it's under the Lightworkers Institute.
So guys, there's something really special about coffee in Spain. I don't know what it is, whether it's the coffee, the water, the milk, but there's a very distinctive taste. You only get it in Spain. And I was recently driving through Europe. I drove from Germany into Austria, Switzerland, France, and then into Spain. And as soon as we got across the border, my friend said to me, he says, every time he drives across the border, the first thing he does, he gets a coffee in this gas station. And I was like, really? And I didn't really appreciate it until he said, the coffee is very distinctive. And I was like, you know what? He's right. Italy's probably the best country, even though the Brazilians and the Colombians will say, oh, we got the best coffee. Yeah, also, that's a great place for coffee. But it's not amazing, but it's just really a distinctive flavor. So 2 or 3 of these a day will keep you on track.
But now it's time to move on. Onto one of my favorite subjects, the glory of ancient Rome.
On top of a remote mountain here just outside Ronda, on the road to Seville, there's an ancient Roman city called Asinopo. And this is where we are right now. Now, the background to this place is extremely interesting and kind of mind-blowing, because Julius Caesar fought the battle for Rome, originally in Rome, and it ended up in Greece. And he thought he defeated the other 2 people, 2 twins from Pompeii that were trying to take his throne. So having defeated them in Rome and Greece and Italy, he then left and came here to Spain. But what happened was the 2 twins raised more money and raised a second army and followed Julius Caesar to try and take the throne away from him. So in this Spanish remote mountaintop, a huge battle took place, and there was an estimated between 40 and 50,000 men were killed fighting for Julius Caesar here in Andalusia, thousands of miles away from the heart of the Roman Empire, obviously Rome. There was that many wounded soldiers that he couldn't return them all to Italy, because if they had a hand chopped off or a leg chopped off, they were immediately put into the pension being a legionnaire. So what he decided to do was, instead of rehousing them and putting more back into Rome, he built this settlement here, and he housed all of his wounded warriors and left them here in Spain. They started very well. They started growing grapes, they started farming cattle and pigs, and they thrived here for about 1,000 years before the city was devastated by an earthquake, as far as we can put together. But now we're standing in the remaining ruins of this ancient place, the amphitheater, and it's still a seriously impressive view today, 2,000 years later, just to see all of how these stones have stood the test of time through earthquakes and storms and battles and wars. It's still here in the glory of ancient Rome.
What do you think the last show they had here was?
I don't get the feeling that it was used in a negative way. They used to use the Colosseums for all the slaughter, just for entertaining, really, in the larger cities. This isn't a Colosseum. There's a difference between Colosseums and auditoriums. This, to me, is an entertainment.
Yeah.
Depending on what god it was, which month, Jupiter, Mars, they all had different gods in different months.
Wonder if the moon comes up a certain.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. You can guarantee that. What I find is fascinating, and I was just pointing it out, is on the theatre you can see where the steps are cut from this angle, yeah? Into the rock face.
Yeah.
And this, a lot of people think, oh, they built this. No, this was all hand carved out of the existing mountain, the entire seating arena. So guys, Assinapol is one of my favorite places. It's one of the places I come for a recharge, to recharge my spiritual batteries. What I'm going to ask you is what you're feeling. Tell me your feeling about this location.
What I'm feeling a lightness here, and it's almost like a freedom. But as we were walking up, way down below, it was a little bit heavier. But up here, it's light. It's like, well, we're entertainment.
On the top of the mountain.
And we're on the top of the mountain. We've got the fresh air. We've got the energy. We're close to Creator. It's a lightening. It's a lightening of all of our spirit.
That feel right with everybody?
Yeah, I have tingling, like my hands and my feet, my body. It just goes up.
I would say feeling honored to be part of the ancients, right?
Yes.
It's almost, you can see the energy, spirits that have walked this path,
You really
and
can.
built this place, right?
Yeah, you can. I mean, you can see it.
Yeah.
It's welcoming. The feeling is welcoming.
Right. Yeah, you feel the history and you feel all the souls who've been part of this, and look how much they put in to make this, and it's here. The amphitheaters of today are based on things like this.
The effort it took to carve these stone steps and building towers and monuments. It's
phenomenal.
Incredible, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, this is almost like their celebration place. You
Right.
know? I mean, for all the work they've done, as you said, all these piles of stone were at once houses and housed the people. But this was a place of celebration
And feeling.
entertainment. Yeah.
And feeling.
Well, the sound therapy for sure.
Yeah.
I get that healing energy from this.
Well, they were all came out of war.
Yeah,
And,
it's true.
And then they were given an opportunity for a second part of life. A lot of them would have been left to die.
Yeah. They married, they raised families and children and crops and cattle, and they thrived in such a remote location. It's incredible, the achievements.
The other thing that I feel in here is the acoustics. Off the rocks, you're getting so much healing.
Yeah, and the angle. You know, they put some thought into which way this faced and what they were looking at. It's incredible.
It's a real lightness.
Well, it's time to say goodbye to Assinapol for now. But the strange thing about this for me is every time I come here and every time I leave, I have a sadness that comes over me. Like in me leaving a family member behind, maybe. There's an ancient Roman energy here that seems to spark something in my ancient memory. There's something inside me linked to the Roman Empire and the energy that it represents that I just can't explain. So although I'm going to be sad leaving, I know that I'll be back soon enough.
Well, it's time to say goodbye to this beautiful Roman city on a remote Spanish mountain. Because we're going to head out across the stunning Andalusian landscape to our next destination, an ancient Moorish castle and the secrets that it holds.
Wow.
Go back.
Yeah, it's one thing to go on a vacation and get pictures, but to have a 3-part documentary made while you're there, and you and I are still anticipating part 2 and 3. And what an incredible journey, and the cinematographer's name escapes me, but man,
Cuba.
Yes, thank you, Cuba. The way that he would, zoom in. I mean, it's incredible. For Mahoney to be able to call his buddy up and have that caliber, it was. I'm still blown away. Because Scott and I we've been filmmakers kind of off and on at times. Just like anything, you got to keep doing it in order to either get better or keep your tools sharp. But it's amazing because Scott has always talked about having Truth Stream be something where down the road we can have a team and have people, working with us and maybe following us while we share stories, etc. And that actually culminated in Spain like this. I'm still blown away.
Yeah, I am too. And it brought back a lot of memories and laughter and fun. But, the thing that's so fascinating about David is that he is like a walking encyclopedia.
Yeah.
The amount of history and what he studied about the area. And, he himself is an empath. He talked about that whole sweeping thing, which I've never really done. I think part of what happens with me is I transmute energy through me. And so what happens, and I know a lot of other healers do that too, is that we start to purge and kind of transmute is really the word. But I always set the intention, I'm not allowed to get sick while I'm away. It's not till I get home. And then it's literally purging out of my body when I get home. So we're going into all these ancient, and I was in for a month, in all of these ancient sites. And it took a lot out of me to actually purge everything that I took on. It's all unconscious. So you have to be really careful and protect yourself. But as well, that's part of my role is
Right.
that transmute. He was really more sweeping and moving. But at each place that we went, you could literally feel the energy and it would shift. Some places were really dark and heavy, and then other places were so much lighter. And then when we were in Rwanda looking down, it looked like that there had been houses, like a city that there was like this, I don't know how many feet down that was, the crevasse, below us. And I was like, something was put on top of that. They weren't
Right.
carved into it. It was a really strange thing to see.
Yeah, almost like you were saying, the mud flood, it looked like, I don't know, at least 300 to 500 feet, something like that. It was not.
Yeah, it was
No.
far. It was far
It
down.
was. And there was a mixture of feelings there. And how can there not be? You're in something. Okay, first of all, we're in Spain, in this beautiful city that we've never seen before. The sun is out, and you're looking over the edge and seeing, like you said, what could have been a mud flood. And then there's nice, espressos and cappuccinos being served just, I don't know, maybe 50 feet away, 100 feet away from where we were standing on the edge there. And there was so much going on. You could feel like the present and the history, thousands of years, all at the same time. It was a lot to take in.
It was, especially as Americans, we don't go back that far. Although, what's interesting is the more and more we're going to find out about the Grand Canyon and everything else, who knows what else is there. But I find that when I go to Europe and seeing these buildings that are, hundreds and hundreds and even thousands of years old, versus the United States, it's amazing when you can go into a place and know that, the history there is incredible. And those scenic views of watching, we were on those roads going from Marbella to Rwanda, that when they had that view above those roads, that they were spectacular. I'd never really spent a lot of time in Spain. Last time I was there, I was probably in college, and I forgot how much I really loved Spain and would love to explore more of it.
Oh yeah. In fact, my mom was watching I think it was Rick Steves' show, and it was Barcelona, and I forgot the name of the church, but oh my gosh, it just looks.
The Barcelona.
Yeah. It looks like growing out of the ground. It's like, salutations to our creator. It's unbelievable. But the cinematography in this, I gotta say, to watch the technology advance to where, we can now get drone shots of sweeping views like that. And that's what, a few days worth of shooting, and it's just incredible what they've put together. And I gotta admit, when Carol said we need David Mahoney's voice in there, that narration, that voiceover, he really takes you on a journey. He does have a gift, and the way he presents and the information, he's literally like an encyclopedia. I mean, what a gift to have lived there for 30 years. And we went to at least three different either amphitheaters or the one we went to where it was more of the Coliseum. Oh my gosh. That was incredible. The feelings that were Scott actually felt like, the gladiator. He got in tune with that while he was there, and that's to be seen in the upcoming.
There's some really cool things in part 2 and part 3. I don't want to give too much away, but
right.
As a teaser, I mean, there are really pretty profound experiences, and a lot of history that, I didn't learn anything about that part of the world, in high school. There's so much, in history, there's so much I want to learn and experience. But when you go there and you see it and you feel it and experience it, and the way that this is filmed, they do both. Kuba was such a nice man. And, to be able to spend those couple days with us and getting into Seville, Spain, right. And that's our grand finale. But yeah, that was an amazing experience going into that cathedral there. So yeah, I'm excited to see the whole thing put together. It's remarkable what he's done with it. I want to do more of that, to be honest.
More of the touring, or or more of what exactly?
All of it. It was just like being with people you feel, we were with people who you could be completely yourself with. Like, you don't have to monitor your, when you work in the spiritual world and community, that people get afraid of all that woo-woo stuff. And I'm like, all of us could completely talk about what we were experiencing, feeling, and relate. So that felt really nice. Right. Just seeing the beauty of it all, and the laughter and the fun, and just enjoying it all. And, people don't realize like how important, at least for me, it's the immersion of it. It's like you're living history, and it's the food, it's the weather, and the sounds, the music. It all has such a huge impact. And so for people who don't travel or been thinking about it, it's really, I think it's important. For me, it's like a huge part of my life now. If I don't have a trip booked, I get depressed. And you don't have to spend a lot of money to travel either. There's ways to do it inexpensively, but go explore and go see. We live in such a beautiful place. This earth is so beautiful and so diverse. And to be there and have that amazing opportunity was really life-changing for me.
Yeah, no, it was pivotal. I didn't realize how much I loved Spain. I mean, just everything about it. I mean, we went to Ireland, we went to Morocco, Marrakesh, Morocco, and every place has its own personality, if you will. But there's something I can see. Let's put it this way: I can see why David has been there for 30 years and is still exploring. He's still excited, and I can't wait to explore more of Spain. It's just the energy, the vibe, the weather. I mean, it was incredible.
It kind of has it all. They talk about southern, like Marbella being like the Miami of Europe. It's sunny. I forget, like 300 days a year. The weather is always, beautiful, and there's so much to see, so much to explore, and it's relatively. It's reasonable. It's reasonably priced, and depending upon where you go. I mean, if you're going to go to Marbella is really where the jet set go, and there aren't a lot of it's more international there, but you get into some of the communities outside of there, and it's very reasonable. I found it a lot less expensive than here in the US. Even
Yeah.
just restaurants, at least where I live in Vermont, everything's so expensive now.
Right. And the food, the paella was incredible. I mean, we ate the most. It was incredible. It really
I know.
was.
The food was, yeah, I'm really looking forward to the next the other two parts and how he puts it together. He's editing now, but what I'll say to the audience is I want to thank everyone for watching this. It was really special time for me and life-changing, and yeah, I want to go back like tomorrow.
Beautiful. Well, I think that's a good place to leave it for part two, and we'll do another follow-up on part two and discuss that as well. And there may be more people that join us that were on the trip. There may not. Lisa and I just kind of have this idea to put this out there and watch it with you guys and go over it. And I had not seen it in its entirety. And David's like, Joe, I sent that to you a week ago. You need to put it out. But it's like there was a reason I hadn't rushed to it, and here's the reason. So
yeah, I think he called you Slow Joe.
Yeah. It's kind of nice. It's kind of nice.
I hadn't put it up yet either, because I thought that it would be really fun to do a roundtable with it and explain it instead of just putting the video up. I just thought it would be more fun.
Yeah, the impact.
Yeah.
And it was really special to be in that amphitheater, and I really connected with it. I wish I would have brought the darn guitar, but now I know what exists in Spain.
You have to invent like a fold-up guitar that you can just kind of open up. They're so bulky to travel with.
Yeah, well, there is a backpacker one that I got for Mexico.
Or take up the ukulele.
Oh God, maybe the kazoo and just sing in between or something. But anyway, awesome, Lisa. Anything you want to say in closing of this lovely chat?
No. Other than I did forget to say my Rumble channel is Where Truth Lies, and I'm available on YouTube, and my website is lisamindset.com, and teaching people how to bend spoons and with their mind, and do quantum healings with people, and helping people as much as I can, and just having the time of my life. I'm excited for 2026. I've got first grandchild coming, my son's getting married, and both my kids are having amazing lives, and I don't know, everything keeps shifting and changing in the world, and I'm excited to be part of it and see what happens.
Exactly. Yeah, it's been a very pivotal year for definitely you and Scott and I, and just to step into these getting to do the things that we're doing through the show. It's been incredible, because it was about 2 years ago, Scott made a video specifically, and we were in a pretty not the best place. So if we can look at how far we've come and how much it shifted in the last specifically year, it's just been absolutely incredible. And it gives us the excitement and the I don't know, there's a really positive outlook on things to keep going and expanding. And TruthStream, we have a very, very wide net. We just had the one of the founders of Human Garage on. So everything from spiritual healing, physical healing, and then some mind-bending stories as well. So lots coming out, and I'm just looking forward to 2026 as well.
You have an amazing way of getting the most incredible guests on. I've always blown away. I'm like, what? How did you get them? No, you really have a natural gift and talent, and very persuasive, I imagine.
Well, what helps is when you have these incredible guests, it doesn't hurt in getting the next incredible guest. Like, I mean,
it started from somewhere, right?
Well, yeah, if people see a show with you, me, Lisa, Honey, and Scott, like, it covers so much. There's so much different stuff going on there. I think that it kind of appealed to many different people. So it shows like the ones that we do, the four of us, that I think have such a great energy to them that it lures people in. So you're part of that.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. No, I love it. And you know what? They're fun. You guys are a lot of fun, and you do your research and very well informed, and a lot of fun to be with. I'm so grateful over the past several years of, becoming friends with you and Joe, and meeting all these amazing people, part of this community, and just deep gratitude. It's been a blast.
Absolutely. All right. Well, hopefully next time we'll have Scott back and Carol and maybe Michelle and see where it goes from there. But anyway, thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you all very soon. Take care.
Bye-bye.
This holiday season, give the gift of EMF protection with Oregon Energy to your loved ones. We've designed several gift bundles of our products at a discount. Buy a bundle, and then you can split them up into gifts for several people on your list. Many people become sensitive to EMFs, which can cause a number of health issues. Using Oregon Energy products in your environment can protect you from EMF toxicity and help to restore a harmonious environment that aids in better health and well-being. The results vary from better sleep, pain relief, better growth in plants, food preservation, better mental clarity, and an overall calming effect. These handmade devices are a composite of shungite, steel, iron oxide, quartz, and brass powders, all encased in an epoxy resin. They emit a passive grounding field of Oregon energy. When used in your environment, these devices transform the harmful energy given off by electromagnetic frequencies or EMFs that come from 5G, your cell phones, Wi-Fi, and electronic devices into healthy, life-preserving energy. These Oregon energy devices are available in different shapes and sizes for a variety of different uses. Pendants that you wear, phone shields to use on your electronics, sleeping pods to help protect you at night, and charge plates to use for food preservation, pyramids to grid your property, and garden pucks to help your plants grow. They even have construction tiles to help transform your space. And now there are products for your pets and headset protectors. Check out these holiday gift bundles along with new product lines, and be sure not to miss the Cyber Monday sale for additional savings. To learn more, read the science and testimonials and save 10%. Click the link in the description below.